big show. Obviously, the Thunder yesterday in a lackluster game overall. But anyway, they tied the series 1-1.
Wait, why was it lackluster, Rob?
Well, I just mean kind of a blowout. You know what I mean? Like
they just took care of business.
In the second quarter, they did what they needed to do, and it wasn't great to watch. I'm just saying, period. It doesn't matter who you're pulling for. You hope for it to be just more of a little more competitive. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, obviously, Shai continues to do what he's done all year and accolades, and of course he won the MVP. And the whole conversation is about him, and you keep hearing it. They got to come up with some storyline, right? So the storyline is he a superstar? And again, time and time again, superstar is not just because you were the MVP or just because you won something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is not what determines whether or not, to me, you're a superstar. It's bigger than that. And it's not just on the field. It's not just or on the court. You know what I mean? Like, just putting up numbers. And it's not just winning. Because there are guys, to me, who have not won who are clearly superstars. Mm-hmm. And the biggest one to me, and I'd say, is Aaron Judge. Is there any doubt in your mind, Kelvin, that he's a superstar?
No.
And he hasn't won a World Series. And he's had his failures in the postseason. And he dropped the easiest fly ball to center field in probably the history of mankind. Lamar Jackson has not won yet. People are disappointed at him in the postseason, but guess what? He's a superstar. Mm-hmm. Do you doubt it?
No. And in fact, so much so that everybody's clamoring for him to win.
Right, because he's that good and he moves the needle. So when you talk about superstars, that's why I think people get caught up with the prisoner of the moment. Oh, he won the MVP, he's about to win, has a chance to win a championship and whatnot. And that doesn't mean he's a great player. And this is going to, if they do win it, which I still don't think they will, but if he wins it, it'll be a hell of a year all the way around for all the stuff that he's done. First team All-NBA. I mean, there's nothing else you could ask for him to do. Still, I don't think that elevates him to that plateau. I think a superstar, there's only a handful of superstars in sports. Not everybody. Michael Jordan is a superstar to this very day.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, to this day, and he hasn't played in 15 or 20 years. Am I right? Like, he's a superstar. He is. So that's my no disrespect to Shai. Everybody's not a superstar. Him winning a NBA championship will not elevate him to that. Did he have a great year? Is he a great player? Without question. Superstar? No.
I here's the thing. Superstar, I think, and this is where those people you're referring to, you're maybe 15 feet away from one of them. That's Rob G. And I had to school Rob G today earlier in our call. Rob G, I had to tell him, you're mixing up a heck of a basketball player. You could argue the best basketball player, maybe the second basketball player in the entire world. That would be SGA. He is absolutely that. But to me, when you're talking superstar, there are distinct factors, features, attributes that have to happen to give you that. He's not quite there yet. He has the potential to maybe be there, but as we sit here currently, he's not. And one of the things is we know he's an amazing scorer, right? I've been telling y'all all series long, just put him down for 35 points instantly. Just put him down, 35 points. He's going to do that. And he's setting records too. I mean, you're looking at the numbers in 10 playoff games. He's averaging basically 33, 7 in a couple of steals as well. On dag near 50, 40, 90 almost. 87% from the free throw, 39 from 3. But almost 50, 40, 90. This is crazy. Plus minus, plus 83. So the quality of basketball player is super. But the level of stardom, he's not superstar, supernova. He's not there yet. There's still work to be done in that regard. And that's what I think the difference is. You could argue there are a handful of people who haven't won and were superstars. Charles Barkley was a superstar even though he hadn't won. Current NBA, I believe Luka Doncic is a superstar even though he hasn't won. So there's an eyeball test, there's storylines, there's narratives. mixed in with the quality of your play, your game, that makes you a superstar. And SGA, he is saving basketball in the sense that you don't have to shoot a bunch of threes in order to win, but the style in which mid-ranging, slithering to the hole, and knocking down free throws to the tune of 11 or 12 last night, it's just not superstar stuff quite yet. Doesn't have a gang of commercials, doesn't have a signature move per se, these things. But it's okay. We have to be okay with consistency and the boring of consistency sometimes, meaning he's just very good every night, plays both ends of the floors, and that's okay too, but he's not a superstar yet.
Can I give you one? I'll give you one.
Who?
Tim Duncan, who was a free throw miss away from being 6-0 in the finals, just like Michael Jordan, okay? And he won the superstar. As great as he won the superstar. Most people probably don't remember anything he said or did, you know what I mean, outside of being the big fundamentals and playing basketball. Like, that doesn't make you a superstar, right? You would say, he's 5 for 6 in the finals. What do you mean?
Yeah, winning isn't everything. I mean,
it's not in the superstar game.
Allen Iverson never won a ring, and I don't know if the superstar gets much bigger than him. I mean, Allen Iverson was one of one. He was that guy, and he never won. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, however, will be sitting next to if he was our guest, saying, I could care less, just like Tim Duncan could care less. I've won a bunch of rings. In his case, trying to win his first one. I've won an MVP. I love my team. And they'll be A-okay. But on the grander conversation that we're having, I don't equate him to a superstar yet. And neither do I with Tyrese Halliburton. I think he stole the show of the postseason, hands down to me. But that doesn't make him a superstar.
That doesn't make you a superstar either. And I just think there's a big difference between being a great player, having big moments, and being a superstar. Robert Horry made some of the biggest shots in NBA history. A ton of them, right? Helped teams win championships. I was sitting right near one of them when he made the shot against the Pistons, right?
Yeah, I was in the building too.
I was there for that. Oh, all right. And we all know, everybody knew when he got the ball, oh, God. You know what I mean? Like
don't let Big Shot Bob get it.
And he got it, and Big Shot Bob put it down, and the Pistons lost that game. And then
in overtime,
and ultimately the series. But my point is, was he a superstar? No, but he had clutch shots. He helped his team win big time. Like, was he clutch? Absolutely. Doesn't mean you're a superstar.
Nope. And I think actually he could be on his way because I think he's at the apex of really, really good or a star, an all-star.
Got a long way to go.
But he's not superstar. And I think an example of a Jokic is at the low end of a superstar, just got into that next level to me. So they're like really only a layer between those two in my mind. Like one's at the lowest of a superstar, one's at the top of an all-star, and they're near each other to me.
Yeah. The other thing about the Joker is he's done stuff. The thing that's incredible is last year alone, he did 3 things nobody ever did in the NBA. Like that, when you start to see stuff like that, that's where you separate yourself from other people. You know what I mean?
I think his passing gets him that because we're just not used to seeing a big man be like everybody. There have been other good passers. Bill Walton was a heck of a passer. Chris Webber, Vlade Divac.
Well, what do you have? 60 and 20, and then he had. There's like 3 things he did last year that nobody had done in the NBA.
He did. Did he do like a 40-20-20 or something?
Yeah, 40-20-20. He did a 60 and 20. He did
he's got to relax.
He did
he's got to relax.
Yeah.